Call the meeting to order and ask to call roll call.
Blunier.
Here.
Leach.
Here.
Lehman.
Here.
Mennel.
Here.
Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Join me in a pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no public hearings tonight or presentations or special reports. Anybody in the public like to make a comment?
Public hearing.
There is a public hearing, you're right. I'm so used to it. Yes, we have a public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Just open it, okay. So, would you like to speak on that?
Basically, we're just going to ask for any public comment in regards to the ordinance 20-10.
And that's the appropriations for the next fiscal year, May 2019 to April 30th, 2020. Have any comments, Mike? Anybody else have any comments? If not, we'll close that hearing. Public comments? None? The consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting July 1st, 2019, and the approval of the bills.
So moved. I'll second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The only thing I have tonight is the reappointment of Joe Worth to the Police Pension Board, and that term would end April 30th, 2021.
Move to approve the appointment, I guess.
Okay,
Second.
second. Any other comments? Other than it's a great appointment? Okay, call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Village Clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Village Administrator.
I have several items tonight, Your Honor. Item A on the agenda is ordinance 20-10, an ordinance making appropriation for corporate purposes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2019 and ending April 30th, 2020.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The next item tonight, Your Honor, is a recommendation from the Business District Commission in relation to the building improvement grant. They would like to change the interpretation of what a project consists of. Currently, the language in the application says that a project cannot begin, or that a project cannot begin until the application is approved. We've run into some issues where people with large projects such as the forge that's going in the old blacksmith shop has applied, and they're the next item on the agenda. What they're applying for is only the doors and windows portion of the project. So they would prefer to look at the segment that they're applying for, especially if it's a significant dollar that meets the $20,000 limit that they have to get the full grant of $10,000. Call that the project itself and let the initial demolition, construction that they've had to do move forward while they're going through the application project or process and get the application approved, and then they can move forward with what they're applying for. The commission thought it was a great idea. Basically the purpose of the business district is to eliminate blight within the district. So anything I think that we can do that will further stimulate that application of funds to do that, I think is a good idea, and so did the commission. So we would just like to get your approval of that change.
Okay, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, comments?
Just the question, not it really, I don't think has anything to do with this specific ordinance, but in regards to the grant, can a business, same building, come back multiple times for grants?
You could only apply once every 5 years.
Okay,
So, and there's also a stipulation, if you were to receive a grant and within 5 years sell the building, then there's a certain percentage, it's a graduated scale of how much you have to repay to keep you from refurbishing your building with taxpayer dollars and then selling it for a profit.
What was the original purpose of having the rule be where you couldn't get the grant if something, was there a reason or a situation that was
Well,
kind of brought about?
we believe it's because originally when this whole grant process was started was back in 2012, and you could only apply one time a year. And all the grants were scored and money was delved out depending on how your score was. If there was a significant number of them, there was too many for, say, to give everybody what they applied for. So I believe that was the purpose, so that it was like putting everybody on a level playing field.
Okay.
And it's just kind of stayed in there, but now you can come in once a month, you know. We take
Right.
grant applications, so it seems that that need for that requirement has kind of gone by the wayside.
I think we truly try to make it business-friendly and economic growth, and I think this is another tool, once people want to start remodeling, you know, demos and all that, windows, doors, sidewalks, whatever it might be, that's a long ways off to hold up an entire
Yeah.
project.
I agree.
Your Honor, Julie, can you read what the change is?
I don't have the specific language in front of me.
it's in the packet, isn't it? I thought I saw it in the packet.
It's not, this isn't specifically what the motion was. The motion was, in essence, that the work, the overall project could begin, but what they're applying for could not commence prior to the approval of the application, in a nutshell.
So could you word that better for us, counsel?
Well, and in the past, when we've had changes of this nature, Julie and I have worked together on the language in the application documents. And so I think if you were to approve the concept from an administrative standpoint without having to come back to you, Julie and I could work together to ensure that the application paperwork matches the intent of what you've approved tonight. Or if you'd rather see it in writing before you approve, you could table it and I could put specific language together and bring it back to you for your next meeting.
Because nowhere in the application itself does it actually define what a project is. So it's mainly the definition of the word project, you know.
As I attended the meeting, as I listened, the part that I heard was that you take a building that's maybe being remodeled, you're not sure what all it's going to entail, but you could start the project and, you know, maybe start the demolition and not have everything designed that, you know, for the completed project. But when you got to the point where you could have the windows and the awnings and the doors, you know, you knew what you were going to do there, then you could come and apply for the grant. But the project had been started. The way it reads now, if the project had been started at all, you couldn't apply for those 3 items. It would seem like it would be better for us to approve it that way, with the idea that they can start a remodel if they haven't got, you know, everything figured out ahead of time. They may not know exactly what they're going to do. So from that perspective, you know, I guess I would look at it and say something to the effect that if the project has been started, but there are, you know, I don't know what we call the part that we're allowing them to do, but the windows, the doors, and the awnings, if that shouldn't be started before they come and ask for the money.
And I think the change could be accomplished, kind of building on your idea, with a provision that says grant money cannot be distributed for work that's already been completed.
Right, or started.
You know, and that way you don't, you know, fundamentally, I think if you take out even the part that the project can't be started and you just say, we're not going to give you money for work that's already done, I think you functionally get to the point you're looking at. If you want money for the windows in the awning, come apply before you've installed the windows in the awning. And then we kind of get to the point where you, as you suggested, and as Julie indicated, the commission recommended, you can be in the middle of a big project, but ask for help with a part of that in a way that's eligible under our grant rules and be able to receive it.
Right, and I guess the point, though, would be is, do we allow them to start that secondary item, like the doors, the windows, and the awnings, before they ask for the grant, or do they need to ask for the grant before they start? And that's the way I took that the commission was, stating it.
That's the way I understand it as well. That it's the definition of what the project is. Before, I think it was the project was project. Windows, doors, everything was lumped into one. Whereas now we can divide out that
Second.
project as being, okay, the project in this case is only the windows, doors, and awnings. And defining that now, I believe the rules, the way I understand the rules still would be, you can't start your windows, doors, and awnings and then go apply for the thing. You still have to apply before you start that portion of what is now defined as the project.
Correct.
So is,
If I may,
you may, you certainly may.
I think I would like to see the language drafted and then we approve it. I think we've done that before on some revisions that were made to the rules for the grant program back a while ago. I think that's just do the draft and then bring it back. At least we know exactly what it is that you're
Right.
proposing to do.
Is that consensus, what everybody like to do?
Sure.
I don't think there's anything in dire need that it's interrupting, is there?
It'd be the next thing on the agenda. And it may not be an issue.
And I would suggest that I don't think you necessarily have to postpone item C. Fundamentally, what we're talking about is an interpretation. It's not as if there's the project is not a defined term. So if you were desirous of, I think there's been a consensus expressed that you would intend to approve the language when it's prepared in a way that's palatable for you, and I think that clarifies the standard going forward. I'm not certain, I don't feel from a legal standpoint you would be prohibited from awarding the grant as item number C on the agenda tonight, so you're not holding up a project midstream, and meanwhile we can bring language back to you. As an additional suggestion, just a procedural quirk, if we are going to continue it, I would suggest, since we have a motion and second, it'd be appropriate to have a motion to table in a second, and we could call a vote on that, just so we kind of tie up the
Is that
open.
agreeable? All right, so let's go for a motion to table it.
Do you want to amend your motion? Yes, I could.
Yeah, amended motion.
Either way works. The movant, with the consent of the person who made the second, can amend it to
You
be a
amend it
table.
to table it.
Amend my motion.
Who was second?
Trustee Perry.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Second.
So we have amended motion to table this to the next meeting. Call the roll.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Blunier,
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman. Yes.
Okay, item C on the agenda is a building improvement grant recommendation brought forth by the Business District Commission. It's a recommendation at the applicant was Emerald City Investments. The property address is 25 East Adams. Total project cost is $27,050, and the maximum grant is $10,000. And this would be to replace the windows and add garage doors to the building. And this is the former blacksmith shop building that is currently under construction.
So could we have a motion on that?
I move approval of the grant.
Second.
Any other comments?
Well, I'll just comment, to me, if you look at this, they haven't started the project yet. So
Right.
why do you even need that change? I mean,
It's always been an understood thing that
I
the
mean-
project means the entire project rather than the portion that they're applying for.
Right, because they've actually started the demolition of.
yeah, but,
Right.
I mean, this
So the
is
framing,
specific.
the framing's up,
Yeah,
so
but this is
legitimately,
specific windows and.
well, I've done some work on the building,
Yeah.
and all the existing openings.
Really, it's
are
just a
probably
matter of
getting
how you want to define the project.
Correct.
Right.
I think the project here is windows and doors, so they haven't started.
I agree.
So they're good.
True. They need to get them ordered. Okay, any other comments? Call the roll.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman. Yes. Mennel.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is an extension of the contract with R&R Services of Illinois for the landscape recycling that they have done. It's my understanding that this is the same prices that we have been currently paying. This is just to extend it for the year 2020 and 2021.
Do we have a motion on that?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
So we're extending the contract for the 2020 and 21 season. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yeah.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman. Yes. Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item E is acceptance of proposal through Sourcewell and from CIT Trucks of Morton for a 2020 Kenworth T370 Low Pro Cab and Chassis for the Street Department in the amount of $86,916.
Could we have a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Any comments? Call the
Yeah.
roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman. Yes. Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And the last item on my agenda tonight is item F, waive formal bidding and acceptance of proposal from Koenig Body and Equipment for installed dump body, hydraulics, salt spreaders, snowplow, and accessories on the truck that we just approved for the street department in the amount of $86,851.
Could we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman. Yes. Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Chief of Police.
Just one item tonight, Your Honor, and this is, needs no action by the board, it's just information. In your packet, you would receive a copy of a request given to, or made to Mr. Watermilk and myself by the Chamber regarding street closures for this upcoming Pumpkin Festival. Some of the closures begin on September the 8th, which is the weekend before the festivities, and then throughout that Pumpkin Festival week, which starts on the 11th through the 14th of September. Mr. Watermilk and I have looked at it. We're both in approval of these and have so told the Chamber of that, so we want to inform the board of that as well as the public.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Director of Fire Emergencies.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have one item tonight. We're requesting permission to bid ambulance. This is something that was in the budget for this fiscal year. We've been working on the specifications for that for the last actually few months. I didn't include those specifications in your packet because it's over 100 pages. But if anyone is interested, please let me know, and I'd be happy to email that to you. But it's rather detailed, of course. And so we're just looking for permission to go out to bid.
Okay.
I move to grant permission to go out for bids for the new ambulance.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is it be similar to what we have?
Very similar.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Have we checked to see if those ambulances are available via any cooperative contracts?
They are. However, the difference for us is the difference between like a spec home would be and designing something that you know fits your needs. So as I said, we put together a really extensive design that is based on our years of experience of buying ambulances. And then as he asked the question, they're very similar in design, so that when we move the ambulances in and out of service or crews come in, the same type of cabinetry is there, for instance. And we always keep IV solutions in this location so they don't have to look around for them every time. We would lose that ability to, for the most part, to specify that level of detail, because those standard bids are usually for, this is the vehicle, how it is, and
That makes sense. I didn't realize that you guys actually design your own, which that's a great idea, actually. So, okay, I was just curious.
sure.
Director of Public Works is gone, planning and zoning.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Does any of the trustees have anything tonight?
Nothing right now.
Okay, so we could have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.